Hello, welcome in to part 4 of our Let's Play Humankind series. If you've been following along with the series, you'll know that this has become kind of an over-explained style series where I'm going through kind of my thought process as we progress through the game. I want to get right into gameplay because I know I've been going at a pretty decently slow pace, which I like, and so hopefully you're enjoying that. We're going to jump in. I'll do a quick recap. The links to the very first episode in the series is going to be in the description here, and so you'll be able to check that out if you want to start right from the beginning and watch the whole series through, right from setting up the game all the way through to where we are now. But for the sake of time, and the fact that I love this game and want to play it, and that earlier this week celebrated its 1-year anniversary, and it's been super fun to follow the game the whole way through, and I'm greatly looking forward to the rest of this game, but also what Amplitude Studios has for us in the future. Let's jump in to the game. All right, very brief recap before we progress our turns, okay? We've got our city founded. We're working on our horse ranch on the horses here in order to be able to build our animal barns. You've got to have access to horses to build animal barns. As I explained in the last episode, I do think that animal barns are critically important to early game success. I really like the food output and the base improvements that they give to any of the future farmers' quarters that you put down. The other thing that we are doing is looking to expand our kind of exploration and make sure we get out into our continent that we're on. We still haven't found our. We should have a buddy. We should have a partner on our continent based on how we set the game up. So we haven't even run into them yet. So that's interesting. And then if you recall, we have a free peoples, a peaceful free peoples roaming around up here. So we're carefully paying attention to that free peoples to see if the ability to snag a free city may exist. There's been some changes in Humankind over the past little bit that may have made it much more difficult to do this, but we're going to attempt it up here anyway. So you can see that we've got several things going on. One of the things that I'd like to focus on here as we jump into the game is we have not made a first attachment to our capital. So our capital is just the city and no attachments. Now, I like that we haven't attached yet, but only because we were going to buy the papyrus in, which we already have with influence. So we've already done that. We're not anywhere near harbors, so we're not going to be able to buy in a harbor here in this territory, so we can attach this pretty soon. And you'll notice it's got population. It's growing shortly, so it's going to add some population to our city to be able to give us more workers, and we're going to get the food, but more importantly, we're going to get this industry. +5 industry, even at this early stage in the game, is going to add to this 20. That's a pretty substantial amount, and then we'll get the population to add in, which will allow us to kind of cap out on our population in these two areas here, which will get us the most food and industry that we can early game, which is very important. So we're earning 19 influence per turn. As soon as we get to 30, that's the next thing we're going to spend on. After that, my plan is we find our second city site. So we need to look somewhere not too close to our capital, so we need to probably settle out in this direction, somewhere up in here, where I like to get 4 to 5 attachments per city. That's typically what I'm looking for. So as we're planning out kind of what we want our empire to look like on our continent, we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got a 4th here, and then we kind of have our choice. We could kind of go, we could cross down here with our capital if we wanted to, or we could just kind of take the 5 southernmost places with it. So we're kind of looking at getting up into this vicinity somewhere before we stick down our next city. But we want it to be a really potent city, right? Your opening tile should be really good on your second city site. So something where there's quite a bit of river is typically something I'm looking for. So even, in fact, right where these guys are standing here, there's some potential in these couple of vicinities right in here might be really nice for a second city. So we've got some options that we'll kind of look at as we start saving up our influence for that. So let's press end turn and we will move on. Plunder has successfully happened. And we're going to go break some fog. So I like to go in order of the way they appear down here. So we're just going to stick with that. Where are these guys going to go? I don't know what these guys are doing. As soon as we get the ability to put them in the water, they can cross over. But for now, I guess we're just kind of hanging out. We got to keep our eye out for aggressive free peoples. Aggressive free peoples can really be potent early game, especially if you have not upgraded any of your units, which we have not, and we don't have very many warriors. Like, these scouts will get absolutely crushed by aggressive free peoples if they have the chariots, and especially if they have like a chariot archer combo, it can be very disastrous to do. Let's grab this lair. We'll knock that down. And let's get these guys exploring some more. I think we can, yeah, we can creep up that way. So let's jump on river and we'll head up in this direction to get that explore done. All right, I'm really tempted to go grab this. The Free Peoples have definitely not set a city down, I don't think. I think we can take a little jaunt down here to grab this, because otherwise we'll be waiting for quite an amount of time to get other units up here to grab this curiosity. Curiosity is probably going to be worth it. The Free Peoples are up in here somewhere, but we'd be able to tell if they put down an outpost by if the lines would have changed, right? This territory, and this territory are all still clear. So is this one. So I think we might actually know if that one's clear because we haven't seen that in a while. But I think that they haven't put anything down. So I think we can sneak our way down here. We'll grab this and then we'll sneak our way back up again and see if we can figure out where that Free Peoples has gone. Okay, we have now seen a border. That was a gold one, which is good because we're losing gold per turn because we have so many units. So we actually have, okay, so the two people on the continent beside us are green, which I believe is plosive, and brown, which I believe is the burly gamer. And so we've got, those two are there. Where is our neighbor? I'm so surprised. They must be up here. Like the north of the map is up here. They've got to be over here somewhere, I guess. We're going to run into them at some point. The continent shouldn't be that big. Anyway, we'll see what's happening with that. I'm just so surprised we haven't run into them. All right, so we'll scoot these guys back up. We got to go track our Free Peoples. This guys are grabbing the curiosity. Excellent. Science and influence. Always like to see that. And we're at exactly 30 influence, which means what we're going to do is this event first, which I probably should have done to start with. The flooded lands, an unrelenting deluge of rainfall lashes down upon the great city of Carroll and the surrounding lands. If the rain doesn't stop soon, the banks of the great river that threads through the city will burst, flooding the adjacent quarters. With limited time and resources, the choices are stark. What do you do? Okay, common choice to kick off the game here. We can gamble, chance of terrible consequences. Almost never a good idea to gamble on these. Something to think about. Adapt. Limited adaptations should mitigate the biggest risks, and the rains might relent in any case. 60 gold cost there, and a chance of bad consequences, but not terrible ones. Or we can spend 120 gold, which we actually don't have. It would put us in the negatives. An expensive dike around Carroll will ensure the city is protected from any flood threats. Now, the benefit of choosing this one and taking this is you do move yourself towards the science axis, right? So we're going on the side of progress on that social axis, and so that would be something to think about, even though it costs 120 gold. Are we going to be in a little bit of trouble with gold if we do this? Yes. Can we dig out of it? I think so. So as long as I can spend the gold and go, we can, I believe, go below threshold, which is something that a lot of people actually might not know, but I believe you can. So we press confirm, we'll spend down to -17. Now what that's going to do is it's going to cost us stability. When you are negative gold, it does cost you stability in your city. We're going to compound that by attaching our first territory, which also costs stability reduction in your city, but it's going to get us bonus production and 2 bonus population, which is going to be really big for us. So we're going to run this attach, and then we're going to save up for our territory and then our second city. Getting a second city in early, I think, is one of the other keys to getting off to a really good start in a game of Humankind. So that's going to be the next thing that we're going to look at doing. So again, we're back to 0 influence here. That's fine. I think we're doing a fine job of managing that. We've got a lot of our luxury resources online, so we're getting lots of bonuses, and now our capital has expanded, and you'll notice has a nice industry of 27, and we have extra population to go ahead and do stuff with. So I'm going to take this, we're going to put it over into food because we want our growth to continue at the fastest rate possible. I like, especially at the start of a game, regardless of the type of game I'm playing, food and industry are going to be the two things that I put my workers into for the most part. And then after that, I'm going to choose whether we're playing more of a money-oriented game or if we need to be more science-oriented, and that's kind of where I'll put people in that regard. So again, we've got 2 in food, 1 in industry for now. Want to keep that industry pretty high so we can get our horse ranch out and then our animal barns subsequently. All right, so we can intern and we will continue our march towards something up here. We gotta connect some territories, so we probably need to buy like this territory And then maybe this one. I want to keep them connected because that allows them to be a little bit cheaper. Bankruptcy. We have no money and are losing stability.
They're impressive, the Egyptians. True. It's a fair bet that you'll be embarrassed if you compare cities with them.
Okay, so now we have met our neighbor. We've successfully plundered, and we have met Kid Icarus, and as per actually standard, Icarus has chosen the Egyptians, which is not surprising at all. So, a scout unit from... Wait, are those still... Yeah, those are scouts. A scout unit from Icarus. So we know that Icarus is our neighbor, and we don't... I doubt that he has a city up here. So this scout appears to have crisscrossed from over here. So there is Memphis and the Egyptians, a population of 5. So that compared to us growing a little bit faster, potentially, than we are. So something to think about. But we have a lot of units, so we'll see if we can't run up some forward settles to kind of claim off some of this land. I'd like to snag what we see right now. I'd like to be our land. So we're going to have to be aggressive with our settles here, which may potentially put off our first city, which is something we have to debate that, right? You have to think, okay, is a forward settle and claiming the territory going to be the better use of our influence, or is putting that second city down going to be a better use of our influence? It's a very tough line to dance around, because your second city is going to get you a bunch of great FIMs, right? You're going to get more food, you're going to get more industry, you're going to be able to build more buildings, you're going to be able to crank out more infrastructures, increase your money, increase your science, and increase your influence generation. More importantly, in early game, the second city is a big generator for influence, which you need early game, and so you have to play that game of, is that the way we're going, or are we going to claim the territory? Optimally, because if you'll notice, this just became a free people's territory, so the outpost is in. So we now need to run our people up there and find out just exactly what's going on over here. So we're gonna try to cut Icarus's forces off here so that we can enter this territory and start to see what's happening up here. Now, we have a few turns before we need to do anything here. It's just an outpost right now, this Free People's, and so, but within a couple of turns, it's going to turn into their city, because that's how Free People's works. If they leave their city unprotected, we might be able to snag a free city. If they don't, then we'll just start working on the assimilation process, which we'll get to see potentially as well. So, all right, let's go grab this. A game of prophecy. With the Empire thriving, a new game hailing from a foreign land beguiles the population. Everywhere you go, the distinctive game board and pieces catching your eye. Insisting on a public demonstration, you play the game under instruction in your palace court, but the event has a sting in the tail. The game is reckoned to be a form of divination as well as entertainment. Gasps could be heard as the game's prophecy became clear. You are fated to lose everything. What will you do? All right, we can go the silence route, which puts us towards the authority on the order axis, which, as we've discussed, I've never really found a good use for the authority side of the order axis, so we probably don't want this. Plus, we have absolutely no gold, so we probably don't want to silence. We could push towards the liberty axis on order, which is good. That's kind of what we want, but it will be at the cost of stability, which currently we have pushed kind of tight. We'll have to check our stability here in a second, or we can heed, which moves us towards the tradition side of the social axis, gets us -2 science. The -2 science actually kind of painful, especially early game, because we want to keep that science trucking along, because the science goes kind of slow at first as you're looking to get some of those key things online, like what we're researching right now, which is irrigation. That we want to keep that in mind. So our stability is perfectly fine here, despite the fact that we've taken a few hits to it recently. So I think what we're going to do with this particular one is we are going to take Overlook, and take that -5 stability penalty. Mainly because it doesn't cost us any money, it doesn't lose us any science, we can handle the stability penalty, and this moves us towards the liberty part of the order axis, which is where we want to be. So we'll take Overlook on that, and now we'll move some of our units around. So what we want to be doing is paying attention to, so we need to get to 70 influence to make a territory claim in this territory. What is it in this one? Just 45. Perfect. So what we're going to want to do, I think, is this territory is probably the next best one for us to claim in order to get out to, like, claiming some of these. Because we want to, if you connect them, you'll notice, right, this one, it only costs 45 to put an outpost in because it is adjacent to, oh, is that because it's adjacent to our city, though? Or to our outpost? I think there's 2 levels of cost, but we'll have to confirm that as we play. Anyway, I think I'm going to put in See, this one doesn't connect to either of these. I think I want to claim this one up here. So let's move these guys downriver, and we'll get them eventually into this territory. We probably want to set somewhere right in here is going to be our settle point. Here or here, probably. So let's just get them into the... Oh, wait. We're going to have to take a quick detour. Okay. Quick detour to that, then we'll pop up. We've got another one up here, so these guys can jump up here. We'll grab that with them on the next turn. Perfect. Gives them something to do. These guys are going to continue their exploration. I'm going to continue these guys on coast. Let's go. So we're going to jump over here. See what we can find. Get a little closer to figuring out how big this continent is. I would assume that this city from Icarus, Memphis, is on the coast. But if it's not, that's lucky for us because it gives us more land we can claim. These guys can't go up here, so I guess we're just jumping off river with them. And that's perfect because there happens to be a curiosity. And 10 science, 8 influence. Beautiful. We'll continue these guys up here. And unveil, oh, some more beautiful land. Lovely. Lovely. All right, we got to watch what's happening over here, probably. So let's pay attention to that, and we will end turn. All right. We have some units moving. Icarus's troops...
Time for your first battle? Oh. I bet you're absolutely dying to see how your fighters handle themselves.
Uh-oh. This could be problematic. I think we've run into an aggressive... that might be a bear. If that's a bear, we're fine. It doesn't seem like a bear, though. That's a high amount of attack for a bear. All right, we claimed 2 curiosities on that auto move. Oh, we forgot to do diplomacy. We forgot to do diplomacy! Well, Icarus has offered us a non-aggression pact. That is an easy accept for me, because I do not want to fight. So we will accept this non-aggression pact. I would like to trade luxuries. And Icarus will accept. Perfect. And now what we do is we take a look at the fact that he has some silk. Now, I have no gold currently, so I doubt I can buy this. Yeah, 186 gold. So once we save up 186 gold, we want to buy this. In my personal opinion, and I have a whole video about this separately elsewhere on the YouTube channel if you check out the Humankind playlist, I think that trade is one of the keys to having a really great Humankind game, particularly if you're not going to be playing a war game. War obviously breaks a lot of stuff from trading perspectives, because you're not going to be trading with the people you're fighting and different things of that nature. But the idea to grab these for the stability bonuses alone is a huge thing, but also, again, the plus industry that you're going to get from silk, all of this is good things. So we want to definitely trade as soon as we can with the Egyptians, with leader Kid Icarus, because we want access to all of the beautiful things that these luxuries can get us as quickly as possible. So we'll be saving up for that. And now we have to see... oh, double fights. Double fights, huh? Wow, what a turn. Fascinating. All right, these guys grabbed their 2 curiosities. We don't have the ability to move these guys in on these fights because we don't have that... we don't have that tech researched yet to be able to add reinforcements into a fight. Perfect. We got another one of those. And then, where should these guys move then? We want to claim this territory, so we're going to send... These guys might be able to claim like this, so we can claim this over here. These guys have already... Those guys finished their move. All right, so we're good there. We jump up here. We got to go find where this city is. I think it's going to be up here somewhere. So I think we're going to come around this way to try to find... where this outpost is currently. Okay, so it must be, oh, it's tucked in here? Oh, that's gonna be...
No doubt this independent people possess sophisticated customs, rights, language, and beliefs. So, I do hope you're going to treat them well.
What we want to do with this... Okay, so we got a border, we got probably coast up here, probably curves around. That's probably what we're looking at, but this is a pretty nice... That's a nice little city. It would be so great to grab this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to stay within view range of the city, but not, like, pressure them at all. I don't really know if that's... I just try to do that, personally. Stay within view of the city. Don't try to pressure it at all. That's kind of the goal for me. All right. We have our horse ranches in, which immediately is going to give us a really nice boost of food. You'll notice we increased our population. So what I'm going to do... I haven't switched to this yet. A lot of times I'll use expert policy, and we'll do food, and then... production. I'm going to probably switch off gold. We're not really running gold, so I might bring science up here. You'll see that automatically does this for us. I like to check my cities every so often, just to make sure that they are indeed working the tiles I want them to work, or working the work slots that I want them to work. in this particular game. So we've got 3 on food, which is exactly what I want. We want to max out food because we want to be growing as absolutely fast as possible. And then we're going to slot the rest into industry for now, because we're trying to crank out our opening buildings as well as our opening infrastructures, right? Again, our population cap is pretty low, so we don't really need a district right now. Stability is good, so we don't need to focus on anything like that. So we get to go and focus on infrastructures. That's kind of my determining points. What's pop cap like? If we're getting close to pop cap, a district might be necessary. What's stability like? Might need to put something stability related in there. But for now, let's see. We're going to get +6 food if we put a granary in, +5 food if we put in the animal barns. So what that would tell you is, oh, well, why don't you put the granary in? We definitely could do that. But I think in the long run, animal barns first is going to get us larger gains, especially if we can get access to a second horse. That gets us a bonus of +5 food. And then any further food districts we put in, the farmer's quarters, is also going to be bonus. So I'm going to build the animal barns first, despite the fact that it gives me 1 less food at the outset. You could probably go either way and be fine. I'm a huge fan of the animal barns. I'm going to keep sitting on that as my go-to policy, and we're gonna go with that. All right, so we have a couple battles. Let's see who we're fighting. This seems like it's not okay. A bear, perfect. We're still gonna manual fight it. The bear is gonna have good positioning, unfortunately, but this is the best we can do. And deployment, the bear's gonna come down. We're gonna try to run.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, actually, it's just a straight fight. Oh, that's unfortunate. And we're on river. Okay, so we're actually gonna do this.
Follow me.
I should have done that to start with. That's my bad. We should have given the bear this tile. In a perfect world, we would have given the bear this tile. We should not have put a unit there. So we're just gonna end round. The bear will come down, put himself into bad position. He's on river now. We should have done this the first place. Easy kill on the bear. We definitely should have taken advantage of that terrain. So, you live and you learn, you know? All right, now this one's gonna be interesting, because this must be a free people. Or is it just 2 bears? No. 2 warrior units from a free people. I don't think we win this fight. Those warriors have 19 strength, and we only have 13. Now, we have the extra unit. Do we have... No, and we have bad terrain. We could stick a unit here, but we'd have to defend our flag here. And that's a terrible place to defend our flag. So I think that we are just going to retreat. This Free Peoples is far enough north. Once we get reinforcements, we could easily beat this particular group. And I wonder if they've put down their city yet. They might become a problem, so we may have to come deal with them at some point. But I think we retreat this fight. I don't think we win this, especially with damaged units. Maybe if we were at full health, we could try to like back off and like take some nice ground, but we don't have the advantage of good ground. We'd have to defend a very poor defensive spot here, and I think we would lose. So we're just going to retreat that. And again, the numbers say we could have won. I sincerely doubt that we could have won that fight. It would have been that would have been kind of bad. Oh, look, we grabbed a curiosity on our retreat. That is excellent. Retreat where you gain a curiosity. Doesn't happen every day, that is for sure. All right, so we're paying attention to what happens up here. We also now we know that there's an aggressive Free Peoples up here, so we have to watch out for that. And they are probably going to plop a city down sometime soon as well. And so we want to pay attention to where that happens. Could we steal it? Less likely with the aggressive Free Peoples, but still a possibility. Okay. Let's move along. These guys are going to come up and try to claim... Oh, and now we're going to have to do that fight anyway. So those aggressive Free Peoples are being very aggressive. So I think, well, let's just do this fight first. Because these guys are locked until we do the fight, so... Alright. Do we have a better place to defend from this time? Wow, we are limited in scope of terrain, and they have, again, terrain advantage. We've got river the whole way on our spots. Ugh. It's gonna be very painful. Yeah, we have another bad location for a fight. This should be a full loss. I think we're going to lose all 3 of these units, which is highly unfortunate, especially just the 2 warriors. But, well, Emmanuel battle. Let's take... our most damaged unit should probably not stand here, because that's where we're going to take the brunt of the attack. So let's flip these guys. That's a river as well, right? That's a river tile. That's a river tile. That's a river tile. It's all bad news. It is all bad news. They're attacking downhill here. This is the most defensible tile just because they can't attack downhill. We might be able to sneak a unit up onto the hill, maybe. But then he's going to lose the... I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, that guy's in big trouble. Yeah. Any unit on that tile would have died. So the goal now might be to try to give up our flag so that we can try to get one of our units out. Because otherwise, they're like you can see, they only took this much damage. Like, they're going to run us over. So again, never believe the combat bar. It's not very trustworthy in Humankind. So we're just going to try to run some of our people out as far as we can. So this guy's going to take off. This guy can only move one. So this guy's probably going to die. The hope is that they jump on this tile. And that way we can maybe get this unit out before the battle is done. They're going to swing around for the big attack. Perfect. We wanted them to take this tile. So that's good. And then we're just going to keep running. I think we want to jump on river, but high ground. I think that's a good space for us. I'd love to get to this tile. So they can only attack us once. Okay, and then I want to jump to this tile because that gives us the best defensive spot. Right, now we're off river. And, okay, perfect. So we lost 2 units, but we saved 1. And now we realize just how much trouble that we might be in. It looks like they just upgraded. I think this is the army that just fought us, right? One of them just became a chariot, which would have made that an even worse fight. And in fact, we may still be in substantial trouble. So we're gonna have to be very careful up there and try to look for, I don't think we have warriors at all, do we? Yeah, I don't think we have any warriors. So we're gonna probably have to train up something to deal with these free peoples until they put a city down. The advantage of when they put a city down is you can put just a couple of points towards assimilation into their city and they will stop attacking you. But right now, they don't have a city down, and so we cannot actually... they might have it. No, it doesn't look like they have a city down at all, so we can't even put points towards that, which is highly frustrating. So we might have to train up something that could actually fight these guys here in the near future. All right, these guys are now unlocked. So if you noticed, they were within the battle zone, but because we don't have the reinforcements tech researched, they were in the battle zone, and so they were actually locked, and we couldn't do anything with them until that fight was over. So we're gonna snag this, and then we actually probably want to get these guys kind of out, because if these guys keep coming down, we're just gonna continue to lose units over and over again. I'd love to put a territory in here sometime soon. Maybe we could escape them out to this area and then swing them back around. So let's get them on river at least, so we can try to escape out this direction. But we don't know what these guys are going to do, right? They might just go try to finish off that guy as well. These guys are going to go try to claim this territory. And I think we'll be able to find out, actually. We just got to get on river here. We'll be inside of this territory. And it will cost how much? This one costs 70. Okay, so that confirms my fear, which was... because this territory is not attached yet, this one's not attached, it costs 70 to put stuff in. If we put this one in right here, it only costs 45 because it's directly adjacent to an attached territory. So it's directly adjacent to a city. So that makes you think, well, if we put this in and then attach it, then we could, it's still not going to get us there very fast, but for saving that amount of influence is definitely a great idea. But we're trying to like expand out as quickly as possible. We may have to take an influence hit in order to claim some of the land we want before Icarus starts to come down and take it, before Purple comes down and takes it. And that is probably a risk we're going to have to take. It's something to think about in every game is... Do you pay less influence to stay close to home, or do you push out a little further or spend a little more to claim some extra land, try to set your borders a little further, and get some more of that land included into your territory before someone else can come claim it, and then it becomes, you kind of have to war for it at that point, right? So I think we want to put down... See, if we claim this one, it's only 45. It's just very tempting. It's very tempting to claim this one and then like make our way, and then we'd have to attach it, right? The other option is we could just attach this, which costs how much? 60. So we could attach this, which we're gonna do to our capital anyway. We have both of the things in it. That might be the play. I think that's the play. I think we actually spend on the attach. We attach this to our capital right away. That gets us a bonus of, again, more industry in our capital. And then it makes it cheap to claim this land. And once it's cheap to claim this land, then we can jump out and put... And this might even be our second city, potentially, depending on how good this land is. Of course, if we just put... if we put this in for cheap, then we'd have to attach this as well. So the faster way to do it is to do it this way. Let's run this event first, just in case. Fate of the free cities. The world as it ever was is divided into rulers and the ruled. Great sprawling empires and proud independent cities. Your struggle is with other empires, but you should not forget to pay the part these free cities can play. So we have a new civic available. We can get minus 50 higher army cost or minus 50 assimilate cost. This will eventually become important. But I don't think we're going to activate this now. Our influence is too precious to spend on this particular piece currently. If you're going to war, hiring their armies can be very helpful, but we are not going to do that currently. So I think we're going to attach this. It wasn't part of my plan, but I think that's going to get us, in the long run, it's going to be the best use of our influence. So let's do this. We're going to run the attach. You'll see that now that we've attached it, we're dropping 3 stability. Remember, we have multiple stability potential things going on in our city right now. And so we'll be able to deal with that as it comes. So again, you'll notice we're maxing out food still, and our industry is now jumped all the way up to 39, which is excellent. We also want to think about getting our Obelisk of the Gods in. Our first holy site is going to be something we focus on probably after we put animal barns in, because we want to start generating faith to be able to move towards some of those tenants on the tenant tree as well. These guys are... Oh, wait. These guys are peaceful. Where did the aggressive guys go? Oh! Chat, this is a peaceful free peoples. I don't even know where the aggressive guys went. That's interesting. I was all worried about this unit. Nah. They are not a unit that we need to worry about. Okay, so we're going to prepare... Actually, no, we can put this territory in now. Once we get the influence, right? So next turn, we claim this land. Where are we claiming? Right in here. If it gets attached... It might not get attached... No, it might not get attached to this, though. So we might want to put it up here. I think our spot is probably here to optimize our river placements. So I think our spot is right there. And that actually might be a really nice city spot because it's going to have a nice balance of food and production. We'll have to see. In here might be a good one too because we've got some nice tiles. We're always looking for like a good blend. I like a mix. I like a solid mix of food and production, especially if you're looking to put it like as a city. I think that's something to look for. All right, these guys are prepped and ready to maneuver in this direction, and then of course we're going to take the curiosity, start building our gold reserves back up again, which is nice. And these guys are waiting for this to become a city, so I'd like to jump like somewhere over here maybe, just somewhere where I can still see the city. I don't like that these guys are in my way currently. I'd like to move this way. I don't want to be too close to the city because I don't want to spook them, but I'd like to go somewhere where I can see this, but not too close to it. All right, the people of Markab have converted to Carolyn's polytheism. All right, so our religion is spreading, despite the fact that we do not have a holy site. So we're going to keep jumping. Man, this is a really nice spot for a city. I hope we get to snag this. If we don't, we'll assimilate it, but yeah. All right, well, let's jump over to our urgent. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing the events first in case it triggers something that makes us play our turn a little bit differently. Floodlands 2, so we get to see the result of our actions. Fortune favors you. Yes. The skies above Carol grew darker and darker, the deluge like a sea being tipped upon a city. But then, suddenly, the clouds parted and the rains relented. Days of sunshine followed, and the threat of floods are no more. Lucky. The ground is a little wetter, and the people will not forget, but otherwise, life is normal again. So we did not spend the full amount, but we did not have anything bad happen to us. Which is definitely a good thing. We could have had flooding, in which case I believe you lose population and different things. There's bad consequences that could have happened. It did not happen to us, so we're a little lucky in that regard. All right, this land looks amazing. This might be a little too aggressive to try to get all the way out here, but we might try it. Let's keep going along the coast. We'll get on river and then kind of trek our way. Actually, that's a cliff probably, right? Yeah. Oh, well. maybe we'll trek our way inland a little bit. This looks a little bit hazardous to get around in. All right, these 4 chaps are going to get ready to make a claim on this territory. So we're going to claim this, and then we probably want to claim this as well. But the question is, do we save up for the city first? And the answer might be yes. So I guess we'll just go out and explore a little bit with these guys. There's the peaceful free peoples, and there is a curiosity that we can grab. This guy and this guy should probably get together. My assumption is we're gonna put this outpost in, but this guy should probably join with them to create a better defensible group. That's an 11-11, but it only has 3 adjacent river tiles. This is an 11-9, which is less right now. But if we jump out of this, what we're looking for is how many river tiles can we have encompassed within our city? And the answer is, if we put it here, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. If we put it here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So there's 4 and 4. If we put it here and we connect it to this, which we probably would, we'd have 1, 2, 3, and again 4. So 4 river tiles is the most we're going to get on this particular outpost. And again, I'm looking at river tiles because of that infrastructure bonus. You can get bonus food on river and bonus production on river with infrastructures within your city. And so I'm looking to see, the tiles may not be great now, but they're going to become a lot better, whereas some of your other tiles take a lot longer to become better and don't have double bonus, right? We got double bonus on these because they're going to be food and production tiles, which is always really nice. We also get access to more marble, which is helpful for production, and we actually would get access to gemstones here as well. Gemstones not as powerful, especially because we don't have market quarters in right now, but the more the merrier as well, in my opinion, when it comes to those kind of things. All right, I do want to get this in this turn. So an 11-9 or a 10-10 to start with. Either of these is going to be great. Putting this here puts it right next to some pretty nasty land that is not going to be able to be advanced very quickly. So I think maybe we just sit right here on this 11-9. I mean, 11-11 is very nice, obviously. We could take advantage of that, but we can always just expand out to that quickly. So I think we're going to put down right here, take advantage of the 4 adjacent river tiles here, and the fact that we have kind of escape routes to get districts out this way without having to put them on top of our river. I like that as well. So we're just going to plop this down. We're going to get this started. 45 influence. Perfect. And again, that may just may become a second city, depending on what else we find in this vicinity to be able to do that with. This guy is going to come and join these guys. Won't be able to do it till next turn, but that's okay. And then we move on. We check to see what's going on up here. All right, we got irrigation. Once again, there's our infrastructure that gets us +2 food on river, and public fountain, which if we start having stability problems becomes very important. So here is what I've noticed lately. And this may be a change that Amplitude made recently. I don't know if it was in any of the patch notes. If it was, I did not see it. It appears that they have put an emphasis on free peoples producing units out of their outposts more regularly. And so now we have a problem, because if this guy doesn't move, the other guys moved away. Very classic. The other army moved away. The army that put this down went away. But the army that is now produced here, I have noticed, kind of sits around and protects their city, which is something that honestly is a good thing. It is a good thing, because getting free cities early on was a super weird feature, because if it's undefended, you could just walk in and take it with a scout, which is just an odd thing. We're going to go ahead and move over here. Oh, we might even go grab this. This is not a city yet, and this unit's... But we want to see it. We want to see it. So we'll go get that at some point. We're going to sit right here. We're going to sit right there so we can see the city. These guys are going to go grab this. All right. And it appears... Yes. Another free peoples have settled here. Probably that aggressive free peoples. So we might try to sneak a unit up there to take a peek and see if that city becomes available to us. We'll see, but you can tell the horrors have changed. We have a second free peoples directly bordering this one. Not optimal, because if you get both cities, they're right next to each other and it becomes difficult to run attachments. We can manage it. but it won't be as pretty as it might otherwise be. All right, do we want to get on river? I think we just keep going this way. We'll be able to see everything because of the cliff giving us the nice sight line. This is beautiful land. Very, very beautiful land. This with abstain? Whew. Man. All right, so Icarus's borders do extend out to this direction. I have a feeling that this, even though it's a really nice piece of land, I think it's close enough to Icarus that this is probably his. We probably back off and take along this line, try to cut it off right here-ish, something like that. I don't want to be too aggressive. We'll kind of see how the game plays out. And I want to get that second city in. I think that second city is going to be really important. Well, let's keep exploring. We'll get on river and kind of come down and see what the coast looks like. See where Icarus might be going as we maneuver around. This might be the unit that goes and tests the water up here with the Free Peoples. Let's move back this way. I don't want to lose many more units, but also, like, what am I going to do with these scouts? Yes, I could populate them back into my city, and honestly, I probably should be doing that with some of my scouts, because I have too many. But I have 1, 2, and essentially, once these guys get together, I have 3 full armies of scouts. I'm not opposed to that, because that allows me to patrol my own area. Once we get access to horsemen, we can upgrade them, which is also important, so we'll think about that. Alright, these guys are going to get together. Get together. Perfect. That goes in 2 turns. This Free Peoples, they might be looking to claim land too, which that's a lot of Free Peoples trying to claim land on our continent, which is it's pretty aggressive. So we got 1 and 2 right here. And then this, if this is, let's see who they belong to. Yeah, they're the Akkadians, which are not either of these. The Elamites and the Lulubai. And this is probably the aggressive Free Peoples. So these guys might be looking to settle as well, which is actually somewhat problematic for us. Alright, let's bring these guys up and around. We'll keep exploring a little bit with them. These guys are gonna go up there. I'm gonna send these guys around this way just to keep looking for curiosities. And there's one right there. Perfect. And we'll pick our science. Over here. And we have some choices. We can go towards harbor, which is not a bad idea at all. The other thing to start thinking about, because we've got some of those aggressive Free Peoples, we've met our neighbor, getting up to organized warfare where you can use reinforcements is potent. Sailing, also important, but not as important as trade expeditions with the naval transport, so we can get our actual units in the water. We might want to try to make a play for this, because I think the New World is right next to us. But writing is very important, and if you're the first to research writing, you actually do get a nice little fame bonus, and I am typically very aggressive towards writing. I'm going to go writing next, mainly because I don't see war in our immediate future, and I don't think harbors are a major player for us. I think we could build them a little bit later in this particular game, so that's kind of my thought process is, we're going to be enacting some civics soon. Be nice to get some market quarters out and start making some more money. Plus, there's a fame bonus associated there if it hasn't been gotten already, which I haven't actually checked. We could check that. You'll notice that we're progressing pretty decently here. We don't have any military stars, but we're starting to get close to a science star. We've got 2 of our expansionist stars in. We need to start building a little more because we are a builder empire. So we need to get our production up a little higher probably, which it now is. We're going to start cranking stuff out because we've got 3 attachments. And so I think that's where we'll leave it. We got a few more turns than last time. So hopefully you're still enjoying the pace of the videos. We'll pick this up again next week. So again, the release schedule goes as follows. Sunday afternoons for our new videos here on the YouTube exclusive series, our Let's Play Humankind. Hopefully you're enjoying the information. As always, feel free to comment below if you have different strategies or things that you've tried or different things that we can all learn from. It's a 4X game. 4X games are about continuous learning and figuring out things. So feel free to comment below. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you know when I release videos on those Sunday afternoons. Next week, we'll continue the Humankind series. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next week.